Did the New York Giants just pivot on their draft plans again? My goodness. And we got to talk about Jalen Ramsey out there on the trade market now for the Miami Dolphins. Y'all know we're going to talk about it and break it down right after this.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back into another episode of NFL Central, your number one spot for everything NFL. I'm your host here, Bobby, and I'm holding it down on today's daily episode. So if you're tuned in, just go ahead and spend a quick second. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well. Now, it's being reported from ESPN's Adam Schefter that the New York Giants are looking to hold a private workout this Thursday, just less than 9 days away from the NFL draft, trying to get one last workout in with quarterback Shedeur Sanders after what it appears like they was like, we ain't really rocking with them, we ain't feeling them that much. But then, just to go out there and back it up on what this kind of means, ESPN Mike Tannenbaum, who was a guy that spent time in front offices and now is an analyst on ESPN, pretty much said when this happens late in the process, excuse me, when this happened late in the process, either there's a big disagreement in their building on their evaluation or they're reacting to new information. Look, it's really simple for me, y'all. The New York Giants are lost in the sauce. It's just that simple. The New York Giants are absolutely lost in the sauce. Did we somehow forget how they handled the whole Daniel Jones thing? Did we somehow forget the handling of Saquon Barkley when the GM Joe Shane pretty much was like, yeah, we know how great you are, but go and date other people. And if you decide that you still want to go out and date and be with me and eventually get married with me, well, we can have discussions. And then this offseason, the New York Giants looked at Aaron Rodgers and said, you are the quarterback for our future. What? This team, this organization is lost in the sauce. They brought in Jameis Winston, which originally I thought was a really, really good idea, just to come in and have him be your starter, draft Shedeur, allow Shedeur Sanders to go out there and work with, work and get prepared. And you don't necessarily have to force him to start week one. You can allow him to just come along. And after Jameis Winston goes out there and play a few games and give awesome speeches, you can insert Shedeur Sanders right into what Brian Daboll would like to do as an organization. But they said, no, we don't have an interest of doing that. We want to sign Russell Wilson now. What are they doing in New York? What are they doing? It's just a bunch of confusion right now, that it appears for me, because you went out there and during this draft process, you met with Abdul Carter numerous times. There's been speculations that you have interest in Travis Hunter if Abdul Carter is not there for you at number 3, which kind of makes sense after you already hitched your wagon onto a Jameis Winston, hitched your wagon onto a Russell Wilson, but now you double backing for a last second workout for Shedeur Sanders, which absolutely does not make sense to me. What else do you need to see from the young guy? He just had a pro day a couple weeks ago, and you got years of film to watch. Is he the quarterback for you or not? Figure it out. Maybe it's good be just a smoke screen to go out there and maybe try to trade away the pick so you can garner additional assets. Maybe. We already know it's line season at this particular moment before the NFL draft. Get people thinking certain things, letting people react to the news that you're putting out there in the press to see how you can go out there and do things or what you could potentially be doing in this draft. So it's lion season. And these guys, they might be lying. They might be throwing out a smoke screen. The New York Giants might be doing that, but they appear to be lost in the sauce to me. They look just as confused as somebody getting in their car, parking their car in the tow zone, going in the store, and then wondering why the dang on car is hooked up to a tow truck. That's how it appears to me. The New York Giants right now, I don't know what they're going to do. I'm going to keep it real with you. What I believe they should do is stop playing and go and draft your young quarterback. Allow him to sit behind and work with these two veteran quarterbacks. And then you can see if he's the quarterback for your franchise for years to come. And you can figure that out later in the year. But you can allow this young fella to come within your organization, learn, be behind Brian Daboll, and then decide on what you want to do. Now, there is an other side to this that I totally understand on why you will not draft Shedeur Sanders. Simply because you don't want to go in a situation where you're drafting a young quarterback. He's going to have to learn the current system of Brian Daboll and be within this regime. And then if Brian Daboll doesn't appear to be setting Shedeur Sanders up for the foreseeable future, you might have to fire him. And then you'd have to reset everything like my crazy Chicago Bears did when they drafted Caleb Williams under Matt Eberflus and just fired Matt Eberflus after the young guy's rookie season. And now there has to be some type of pivot for the young quarterback in Chicago. So that's why that was the only situation where I was like, okay, cool, I understand it. But the track record of the New York Giants these last 5-6 years have been like, what are we doing in this organization? What are we doing? Make a decision, pick a direction, and move with the direction. Don't worry about what nobody else is doing. Don't worry about what other players are going to other franchises. Focus on yourself. And if there is some type of disagreement within the organization of the New York Giants, it's not the first time. It's not the first time. We heard rumors and stuff when this whole Daniel Jones thing was coming out that Brian Daboll was like, I don't want to pay him. So those disagreements have been taking place for years now, hence why you're picking at 3, because you're that bad, the New York Giants. So you might be changing your draft plans again, but you need to bunker down because you got 9 days left before this draft kickoff, and you got to make a decision once that clock starts. And once you're on the clock, you got to make a decision. Now, if this is a ploy to go out there and try to create a smoke screen to where you're looking at the New Orleans Saints' recent injuries, and you're looking at Derek Carr, and you're like, hey, Derek Carr might not be ready for the season. New Orleans Saints, are you anxious to trade up to number 3? Hey, the Pittsburgh Steelers, what do you want to do? Are you going to trade up from 21 to 3? That will be a boatload of draft assets coming into the state of New York. It'll be crazy, right? So the way that they're playing it could eventually be a smart tactic, but from the outside looking in, it just look like an organization that is lost in the sauce. That's what it looks like to me. Maybe I can be wrong, but I'm going off history and what these guys have done. Giving money to Daniel Giving money to Daniel Jones, not re-signing Saquon Barkley, waiting on Aaron Rodgers and act like he's going to come in and be the savior for your franchise, bringing in Jameis Winston, then signing Russell Wilson, pretty much saying we don't want Shedeur, and then, no, we're going to double back to try to see if we actually want Shedeur. What are we doing? Come on, guys. Come on. Things like this is why the offseason is always funny, just so we can track what these teams are doing and how some of these billionaires and all these different guys who are supposed to be smart NFL guys and see how they just absolutely just fold under pressure and make stupid decisions. That's just what it is. These guys have to be a lot smarter in these buildings. I know that Joe Shane, yeah, he already lost a lot of credit, especially when they put him on Hard Knocks offseason and he was over there talking to Saquon like he was some type of scrub or something. Come on now. The biggest slap in the face, the biggest karma that the New York Giants could ever see was them treating Saquon Barkley like he was a 5, and he went out there and got him a championship in year one with your division rival, New York Giants. What are we doing, bro? I don't know. But y'all gotta let me know something in the comment box below, man. Do y'all think it's the organization being lost in the sauce? Do y'all think this is just a smoke screen? Or do you really think that these guys have some type of interest in Shedeur? Because right now, it looks to me this organization is lost. And they can't come to terms on how they want to operate within their organization. They got some things to figure out. That's what it looks like to me. But before we get up out of here, we got to talk about the recent news that was reported by Ian Rappaport that is coming from Tom Perisillo, pretty much saying that the Miami Dolphins and Jalen Ramsey are mutually looking for a trade. Look, Jalen Ramsey was one of those. It's been a drop-off. This guy's now 31 years old and making $25 million this season. So if you're looking for somebody to trade for him, I believe it's going to be a tall task, and you might have to take a hit on the chin to just get him out of your building if you want him going that bad. Because not only do I have to pay him this year, but I potentially have to pay him until 2028. And then if I cut him, I got to take on dead cap money. I don't know. I don't know about all that. But it will be interesting to see what team out there is interested in one of these cornerbacks like a Jalen Ramsey. I'll ask you all this, and you let me know how you feel about it. Do you think he'll be a good fit in New England? Do you think he'll be a good fit in New England? The New England Patriots still got $68 million left in cap. They can very well afford this player. And then let's just say they trade or offer, let's say, a 4th round pick. Hell, let's offer him a 5th round pick like the San Francisco 49ers gave away Deebo Samuel. We'll give us Jalen Ramsey for a 5th round pick. There ain't no 5th round pick out there that's better than Jalen Ramsey. I tell you that right now. And then you get to pair him up with Christian Gonzalez. And then you think about all the other additions that they made on that defense going to be ready to go. That offense going to be ready to go. And now in the draft, if you're the New England Patriots, you get to take a real close look at Will Campbell to help your offensive line. You might not have to go to Travis Hunter route, even though I think that if you don't initiate or entertain this type of trade, you should absolutely look at Travis Hunter and pair him in that cornerback field with Christian Gonzalez. Because my goodness, I love Travis Hunter as a wide receiver, but I really, really love Travis Hunter as a cornerback about 2 times more. I ain't gonna lie to you, about 2 times more. I'm just saying, that is a very, very interesting thing to entertain. So y'all just let me know how y'all feel about that. Do you think the New England Patriots will be interested in a Jalen Ramsey? Does it make sense? I would say it's not the one that's, for sure. But that's one of the teams I'm like, hold on, New England, how much money y'all got? Oh, y'all got 68 bill. He making 25. And y'all trying to make some noise. And you got to keep pace in the NFC East. New England Patriots, are you interested? I'm just saying. It's very, very interesting around this time. That's why we love this time of the season. We get to talk all this off-season stuff, all this hyperbole, and sometimes none of it ever happens. But then sometimes things do happen, and you're like, hold on, I didn't know this was on y'all draft plan, or this was in y'all plans to make a move like this. And I will say, Jalen Ramsey is absolutely a Mike Vrabel guy. Mike Vrabel want dogs on the team. He don't want no puppies. He want dogs. If you want to hang out with the puppies, if you're on Mike Vrabel team, you got to sit outside. You got to sit outside. It's just not. Jalen Ramsey is definitely a Mike Vrabel type of player. Going to come in, get physical on the outside, and going to be able to make some plays. So I know it's going to be some pushback with the way that Jalen Ramsey has performed these last few years. Not very good statistically and stuff like that, but the man still got some talent. Still one of the, still got some of those measurables that made him one of the best cornerbacks in his league a few years ago, for sure. So y'all let me know y'all thoughts and everything on that. But that is it for me today, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of NFL Central, the #1 spot for everything NFL. Before you get up out of here, let's chop it up in the comment box. Leave your comments and answer those questions that I posed for y'all today. And we are rolling. into draft season, and it is about to be a fun, loaded couple weeks evaluating these prospects, seeing who can move up, see who's going to be the sleeper, see who needs to fall. It is about to get crazy because we in lion season. Everybody lying. Everybody lying. I don't want to hear nothing about no truth coming out of nobody's mouth. Because everybody lying. Everybody lying. Even my team, they lying too. I know they lying. Is your team lying? Are you lying? All right, that's enough of me playing around. That's it, y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. And y'all already know I'm going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. Peace out, y'all.